Welcome to Primary ypww, Lesson 4. This lesson is audio only. I do not own the rights to this music. The topic is Bethel, the house of God. Our lesson scripture is coming out of Genesis 28, verses 18 through 19, and then 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 17 through 19. The memory verse says, "And Jacob called the name of that place where God spake with him, Bethel." And that's Genesis 35, verse 15. Target for today. The Lord wants His children to know that Bethel means the house of God. Genesis 28, verses 18 and 19. And Jacob rose up early in the morning, and took the stone that he had put for his pillows, and set it up for a pillar, and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. 1 Peter 4, verses 17 through 19. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Wherefore, let them that suffer according to the will of God commit the keeping of their souls to Him in well-doing, as unto a faithful Creator. The introduction says, one evening, Jacob decided to go back to his father's home. He grew tired on his trip and was 50 miles away. He stopped to rest in an open field. He slept for a while and planned to continue his journey in the morning. He wrapped his coat around him. Next, he took one of the stones from the ground and used it as a pillow for his head. That night, he had a great dream. Jacob awoke from the dream. He was very amazed. The Lord had spoken to him, and he knew it was God. He named the spot Bethel, which meant house of God. It was marked as a place to worship God. Jacob and Abraham both built altars in Bethel. When the people of God inquired of the Lord or prayed, they went to Bethel. The Ark of the Covenant was kept at Bethel. The house of God became the center for seeking the blessings of the Lord. After the war, they went back to Bethel to worship God for victory. The house of God was not only the place where the Lord revealed Himself, but it was the place where people of God worshiped. Peter said the time would come that judgment must begin at the house of God. He added that if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? Yes, he asked a question, but he encouraged the household of faith to stay committed to God. We, believers, are also referred to as the house of God. Peter said that if they committed to keeping their souls unto Him, the Creator, they did well. When the ungodly committed idol worship at Bethel, it became known as Beth Aven. King Josiah later pulled down the idols. He reformed the people to return to true worship in the house of God. Believers must stay encouraged to keep true worship in the house of God. Both the people and the place of God were faithful. The questions for today's lesson. Question 1. Where was Jacob going when he stopped to rest in an open field? What happened when he awoke? Question 2. What did Jacob name the place? What does Bethel mean? Question number 3. What did Peter say will begin first at the house of God? Happy studying! God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.